Hello, Misty. Welcome to my foot, my foot of fame.
I love it. Your 14 minutes of fame. Do it. I love that you picked the color the same as my shirt, like for the timer. It's so
Yeah,
good.
let's go. So that well, I don't really want it to show, do I? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Show it. It's all up there now. It's there for everybody on YouTube.
So I see that you've got a new book out.
I do.
It's called Sell Like a Rockstar.
There it is. I printed mine and then I got it bound over at Officeworks. So
No,
actually, I tried it two
wow.
different ways. I did it as a magazine,
Yeah,
so that was easy. And then
nice.
but yeah, I just say download it, print it, read it with a cup of tea. Just put staple in if you want. But I went to Officeworks. I like it. So
Well done.
now it's like a book.
Well done.
Nice and
Good.
easy.
So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about it. Do you know the author?
I do. Apparently, she's well known all over the world. That's Misty Henkel, greatest sales trainer the world has ever seen. And she has this weird
I've not
ability to
heard
do
anyone say anything different.
No, I've never heard it. No, no. So, King Richard, the movie King Richard, which is the story of Venus and Serena Williams' dad, right, who taught them to be tennis players, was partly their coach, was a lot their dad, and then would get all these other coaches and everything. He had rules about the girls, so they decided, the plan was he would carry this blackboard everywhere that said, "No plan is a plan to fail." And he would carry that everywhere, right? So they had a plan, and the plan was that the girls were going to be tennis stars, right? Well, that's what you think that the plan was, right? They're going to be tennis stars, but the girls were going to be tennis stars. And so he had a plan that they were going to be tennis stars, but they would learn all this tennis stuff and they would go have these amazing trainers, but they weren't allowed to play in tournaments until they were older, like 16, 17, 18, like much older. And they weren't allowed to do it while they were young, like say 11, 12, 13, 14, even though they were great players. And the dad said, because I want the girls to be girls
Mhm.
and I want them to be kids. And so all these like tennis coaches were like, hang on, you got me to get to teach them. And now you're saying I'm not allowed to put them in a tournament. But it was because he would walk around and he would see these young girls, like 12 years old, going into tournaments, being told off by their coaches, which was mostly their dad, told off and berated in front of everyone. And then he'd see them throw tantrums and they were just terrible sports. And if they didn't win. And so he said, yeah, so that's not going to happen. Anyhow, Venus and Serena. So Venus is the older one, right? When she turned 14, she had the opportunity to go into a tournament and she wanted to go into it. And he said no. And the point to my story is the greatest sales trainer the world has ever seen. Just in case you need to bring me back to the point and I forget what I'm talking about, right? So,
I'll write that down.
right, which is different to the greatest sales trainer in the world. All right.
Mhm.
There's the greatest sales trainer in the world, and there's the greatest sales trainer the world has ever seen. I'm going to tell you the difference.
Mhm.
Right. So, anyhow, Venus, she goes off and she goes into this tournament. She ends up saying to her dad, you've taught us all this stuff, but you've also taught us to be in charge of ourselves. And I know I'm 14, but I want to do this. She ends up going into the tournament. She came second, but she got into the finals against the one that won. And the one that won more on head games than the actual game because Venus was winning. And then the girl, had a stomach cramp or a sore ankle or something and then had to go to the bathroom and then didn't come out of the bathroom for like an hour. At that point, Venus lost her head game and got all anxious. And then she ended up losing. And she was fairly dirty about it and everyone thought it was fairly unfair. But that's the game of tennis. And the dad sort of had mentioned later on, she deserved to win. She's been in these tournaments. She's done this plenty of times. She knows the head game. You don't. This was your very first tournament. You don't deserve to win on the very first time that you play, right? And so she ends up leaving and everybody claps her out and everything else because the audience wanted her to win too, like because she played really well. But Serena never got to play, and Serena was 12. And the dad said to Serena, Serena, we have a plan in the family. the plan has always been that Venus will be the greatest tennis player in the world. If I had have let you play, even though you're as good as her and some days better, if I had have let you play, then that's going to ruin the plan that the family has been working towards this whole time, that she's going to be the greatest tennis player in the world. Because she may not have made it to the finals, you may have. And this might ruin the plan that we have for the family. So we will do everything to back Venus up to be the greatest tennis player in the world. And you're sitting there watching going, it's so unfair to use the younger sister that way, to have her do all that training, and then only so that her older sister gets to be the best tennis player in the world. But the dad turns around, looks at her and says, but Serena, I have a plan for you. My plan for you has always been that you'll be the greatest tennis player the world has ever seen. And the ironic side of it, I Googled this afterwards, and the difference between being the greatest tennis player in the world, so number one, versus the greatest tennis player the world has ever seen, the money difference is magnificent. Like millions and millions of dollars more has gone to Serena than it's gone to Venus. And the difference is the greatest tennis player in the world is to be number one.
Yep.
The greatest tennis player the world has ever seen has been to come back and win.
Yeah.
Even if you've lost before. So it didn't really matter now how Serena plays. She only has to then turn around and come back and come back and come back. So she doesn't have to sit at the top level. So her sister's really got the harder task. But Serena can come back from any problem, any injury, any whatever it is. And so she has become the greatest tennis player the world has ever seen due to comebacks and everything else. So I've opted for this year to be the greatest sales trainer the world has ever seen. And here's how I say it, is because really I can get people to sell who don't want to. My job is not so much to teach people how to sell. My job is to get you to sell, and I'll do whatever means is necessary. But mostly I just make it really simple. And that's what I like about Sell Like a Rock Star, is it's just simplifying the sales system. So I think I've done, you've heard me talk about before about business being a twin engine plane.
Yes.
And I got the story from someone else who got it from someone else and someone else. But anyhow, think of a twin engine plane. You need both engines running in order for that plane to be running or it'll crash land, right? But one engine, the right-hand engine, is called marketing. So that's you telling people what you do. That's advertising.
Yep.
The left-hand engine is called sales. That's you saying, do you want to buy it? And there's a difference between sales and marketing. But until you put it in a twin engine plane, people think sales and marketing is the same thing. If you put sales into marketing, you should buy it because let me give you the features and benefits. Now you've only got one engine working.
Yeah.
Of course, which engine it is, I don't know. It's either the sales one or the marketing one. It's only one of them, though, because now it's two engines in one engine and the plane's crooked and it's going to crash land. Yeah. So you need to do marketing, tell people what it is. No features and benefits, just what is it? And then the sales side, do you want to buy it? So I've done one book, Overcoming Obscurity, that was on marketing, how to get known in the marketplace. I've done one book on sales, how to go from no sales to sales. That's the part where you talk to a person.
Yep.
On how you talk to a person. And it turns out, purely by accident, it turns out that Sell Like a Rock Star is when marketing is working. So you've advertised, people come to you, like with you, Joe. Let's say with Calm Animals Australia and pets behaving badly. Joe, I hear that you can help out with toileting issues with my dog because for some reason it's decided the toilet's inside and not outside. Now, that means marketing has worked if I've come to you to say that to you. Yep. Most people will use that as let me tell you more about the pets behaving badly stuff that I do. Yep. And then if you say, yes, I do that, and then I do this, and I do this, and I do this, that's market. That's only one engine working. Never really getting to the sales side.
Yep.
Whereas Sell Like a Rock Star teaches you that when the marketing worked and the person came to you, how you stop talking about the marketing and then move into the sales side. Yes, I do that. Do you need help with that?
Yeah.
And it's really just that one line. Do you need help with that? And and then you move into the sales side so that the customer can now market you to themselves, to be fair, but you don't have to do it. So I do love this one because there's it just switches from one engine to the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without going around in circles. But yeah, so you've got it, you've read it.
I do. I do, and I have. It's
And
good.
actually you've done the training a few times before I even wrote it.
I liked it so much, I came back for more.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Which bit do you like the most in it?
I like the photo on the front is my best with my
The one of Jack.
oh, Jack. He's so
Yeah.
cool. He's so
Yeah. Wasn't the original picture I was doing, but I was told by a guy who's really good at marketing, Lincoln Noel. He's a
Yeah.
piano player. I mean, he only has to turn up and start playing the piano, and everyone's like, "Oh, Lincoln, can I ask you questions about the piano?" Yes, I can help you with that. Like he's like, get straight into the sales. He said, Misty needs to have sunglasses on, needs to look like a rock star. And I've gone, I got a picture of Jack doing that when he was 8 years old, actually, playing the guitar. So yeah, just dumb luck, really. So
do you have a favorite part in the book?
yes, it's the why question. It's step number 3. So it's the whole point of it is when someone comes to you and says, I hear that you do this, or can I ask you more questions about? So in my instance, if someone says to me, oh, great, Missy, I so much want to talk to you because I want to talk to you about your sales training. And then I just say, why do you want to talk to me about sales training, my sales training?
Yeah.
And based off that, even in a one-to-one, when someone says that, Missy, can you tell me more about your sales training? Why do you want to know more about my sales training? Well, and then they'll tell me. It'll be because either I don't fully understand what it is that you do, so I don't know how to pass your message on, or it could be because I'm struggling. Okay, either way, I can help you.
Yeah.
So I can help you understand more what it is I do so you can pass my message on, or I can help you because you're having trouble. And so step number 3 there's only 7 steps, and the 7th step is closing the sale. So, but there's only 7 steps, and step number 3 is ask a why question. And then step number 4 is after you hear them answer the why question, just say, I can help you with that. And you're on that sales path moving forward.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Any last comments that you would like to make about it?
Just everybody should have it. It's $11. You can get it on Etsy. Marketing or sales? Marketing. It's $11. You can get it on Etsy. Misty Henkel sales, $11. I plan for the whole world to have it. And then I'm going to run free classes on it all year long. If you've got the book, then you'll be able to come to all the free classes that I run on that. If you don't have it, I'll charge you $11 and you're going to have it because I'll send it to you. So one way or the other, class and notes are all going to marry up this year. A lot of people come to class and don't know the notes to write. Well, they end up with the notes, but they don't know how to read them. So I'm going to marry it all together. Free classes, the notes.
What could be better? Thank you very much for your time today, Misty. I've really enjoyed talking with you, and let's get together and do it again soon.
Yes, nice. Thank you, Jo. Thank you so much.
Bye. There it is.